and welcome to all on Watches TV, and I immediately have to say that I've been rather spoiled having been invited by Vacheron Constantin to Paris for the official launch of a new series of limited timepieces showcasing the brand's commitment to métier d'art expression. These timepieces got their inspiration by 4 works of art found in the Louvre Museum, and I must admit that it was rather spectacular to see these timepieces with the perspective of the original inspiration standing just behind. A very privileged moment. But you know us, we were also able to sneak in their manufacturer to know more about it and especially film these beauties up close and personal. Let's go!
The Museum of the Louvre is one of the most famous, if not the most famous museum in the world when it's about antiquity. Vacheron Constantin and the Louvre discussed about which civilization could be chosen for this series. And we thought altogether that it would make sense to revisit a famous civilization from the past. And consequently, we decided to choose Ancient Orient, Egypt, Greece and Rome.
We wanted to have something very strong to mark the beginning of the partnership, but we also wanted to make sure we had something very relevant, both for Vacheron and for the Louvre. So actually, the theme of the tribute to the great civilization and the choice of the masterpieces to be reproduced, even the techniques, was really a joint work between Vacheron Constantin, expert, artisans, heritage teams, and the expert team of the Louvre, curators, collector directors, and their own artisans and restoration department.
There have been numerous discussions between Vacheron Constantin and the people of the Louvre in order how can we combine several art pieces from each civilization to form a unity which would be represented on the dial of each timepiece. We never thought about which crafts we would like to use for each timepiece, but rather we concentrated on our efforts in order to bring as much, let's say, impact for each timepiece. So it was all about, let's say, artistry and design, rather than to accommodate the design to existing techniques, which is, I think, really important.
The teams of the Louvre, mostly experts on how to choose the right masterpiece, how to also frame it. A watch is round and it's quite small, so we need help from experts on under what angle, how to place it, where we can cut, where we cannot cut. If you look at the Victory of Samothrace, one of the 4 models we are presenting, you can see that it's not centered. Actually, it's on the left of the dial, so that the wing is in the middle. But because from the expert point of view, the wing is the principal element and should be the one glorified at the center of the watch. The same goes for the writings that are adorning all the watches that we present today, which have been selected by the experts of the Louvre to illustrate each of the iconic masterpieces we are presenting.
If we start with Ancient Orient, and so Darius I, so we have a combination of stone marquetry and engraving and enamel. So in other civilizations, we will still have always enameling as a decorative craft, but used in several different techniques, such as, for example, in the ancient Egypt, we have some champ levé enamel, which has been kind of artificially aged. And in the, let's say, ancient Greece timepiece, which is La Victoire de Samothrace, we have some grisaille enameling, for example. And finally, in the ancient Rome timepiece, Le Buste d'Auguste, we also have some enamel, but translucent enamel of a very sophisticated color, just to give you some example. And we have one thing I would like to keep for the end, which is a micro mosaic for the ancient Rome timepiece. So we have a fabulous micro mosaic of more than 600 tiny pieces of stone which are glued together.
If you look, for example, at the micro mosaic on the ancient Rome piece, we looked very carefully at the type of colors and size of stone that was used at that time in order to really replicate that effect, which is a very small mosaic. The same applies to the ancient Egypt, where we had to sort of dust our own enamel to give that ancient past look to the final treatment of the champ levé enameling. So very, I would say, fluid, transparent, very natural relationship, expert talking to expert, artist talking to artist. So it's always easier when it's like this.
For this series, we are using our in-house caliber 2460 G4, which is a caliber that we have developed which was revealed in 2005 at the occasion of the 250th anniversary of the Maison. And so our idea this time was to remove any kind of hands or subdials or any kind of indication, but still keeping a complicated movement. And so by removing the hands or subdials, for example, we wanted to have a surface on the watch face on which we could use a decorative craft in 3 dimensions. So we are using this movement for several métiers d'art series since 2005, and we think in addition that this is a very original, interesting way to showcase the time through 2 windows, hours and minutes on the top, and then the day and date at the bottom, left and right. So it's quite unusual, and it gives a very unique appearance to the timepiece. We took great care about designing, developing and manufacturing this series, and it has been obviously this is a very long work of watchmaking and decorative crafts. So we decided to really make this series very exclusive by doing only 5 watches for each civilization. So they can be acquired one by one. So you can choose the civilization you would like to have, or you also have the possibility to acquire them in a set. And the set will be delivered with a dedicated box for the 4 watches.
So like I said, this was a very, very privileged experience. I can't thank enough Vacheron for this. I mean, it's definitely not so usual to be able to wander around the Louvre almost by yourself and, for instance, stand so close and very comfortably by the Mona Lisa when you think that normally you have 7,000 people passing by every day. So some of the very nice perks of our job, I guess. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, the very best to you, and Viva Watchmaking. See you real soon.